On this edition of Mocs News, National Coming Out Day was this week, and we look back on the event.
We get cultured with HOLA.
And we take a look at the boxing event that came to Chattanooga.
I'm Heidi Brightman.
And I'm Christina Jennings. Your news starts now. National Coming Out Day is an LGBTQ+ awareness day that is observed on October 11th and 12th in most parts of the world. The coalition advocating for student empowerment, or CASE, held a cookout on Chamberlain Field to celebrate the occasion. Here's a look back.
This is Coming Out Cookout, and it's to celebrate National Coming Out Day. This event means a lot to me. It's to celebrate the LGBTQ community, which I'm a part of. Spectrum meets on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock in the Center for Women and Gender Equity.
Fall break may be upon us, but UTC has some important events for us to come back to. Take Back the Night will be returning October 17th at Chamberlain Pavilion, so tune in next week and take back the night.
UTC students were exposed to plenty of different cultures this week.
Cierto, Cristina. Nuestros Joseph Taques tiene el cuento.
UTC students had plenty of chances to learn about other cultures this week. On Sunday was the annual Culture Fest at the Pavilion. Countries and nations from all over the world were represented at the festival, with many cultures having their own booths and stands. Different booths sold and promoted a variety of goods and services. On one end of the pavilion was a stage, where different acts could put on unique performances such as traditional dances from around the world. Fast forward to Tuesday, and the Hispanic Outreach and Leadership Association, also known as HOLA, held an event of their own. The club spent the night educating people about Dia de los Muertos, aka the Day of the Dead. Ms. Guzman Espinosa came in to talk about the day and the history behind it. Students even participated in the presentation as well, building a small altar, among other things. As always, you can get the latest HOLA news by following them on Facebook. This has been Joseph Dykes with Mocs News. Back to the studio.
Virginia authorities say 4 people have drowned and a firefighter was killed, which raises Hurricane Michael's death toll to 11. Search and rescue teams looked for bodies through a ruined landscape of smashed homes and pile of sand Friday. Michael was so powerful that it remained a hurricane for 12 hours after making a landfall at Mexico Beach.
Fall is finally here.
Just in time for fall break, here's Brandon with our forecast.
It's finally fall, y'all, or at least it finally feels like it. Today you can expect sunny skies with a high of 71 and a low of 50. For the weekend, we will see partly cloudy skies for Saturday with a high of 69 and a low of 52. Sunday, expect rain with a high of 72 and a low of 62. Next week starts off wet with highs staying in the high 60s to low 70s and lows in the high 40s. That's it for the weather. Back to the news desk.
If you have an organization or are trying to host the events in the future, you still have time to submit the 2018-2019 FAC funding request form. A submission must be received by 11:59 on Tuesday prior to the night committee meeting. The meetings are held every other Tuesday at 1 p.m. The next will be held October 23rd. There are only 3 spots left, so don't wait. Keep in mind that you must submit forms 2 weeks before the date scheduled event. If there are any questions, you can email Amelia Dunston at utc.edu.
The UTC organization Fortitude wants to talk about the guilt of privilege. Fortitude provides an open and honest discussion about the privileges people have and to help others understand that privilege is not just about race and gender. Students learn they should not feel guilty for the privileges they receive, but to help those incapable of those privileges. Fortitude allows students from different walks of life to come together and discuss those difficult conversations in an open and safe environment, giving all a platform.
USA Boxing will wrap here in Chattanooga with a duel match with Germany. Our Emma Howland has the story on the competition.
Thanks, guys. We're here at the Chattanooga Convention Center filming for the USA Boxing event, which was a smashing success. Gathered at the UTC Convention Center to witness USA boxing matches. USA Boxing is an organization that promotes Olympic-style amateur boxing. The matches range from ages 8, known as Pee-wees, to even 49, which are called the elites. Some elites traveled from all over the United States for a chance to compete in the Olympics. Mike McEltee, the executive director of USA Boxing, explained Chattanooga's involvement with the sport.
Chattanooga, Tennessee has great boxing tradition. Joe Smith, who is with the YMCA, has been in boxing. He was actually a team manager of one of our Olympic teams. His foundation here, the White Cap program, has been around. His whole family, his children are all in boxing, and it's just a natural fit for us to come here to Chattanooga.
Along with the regular matches, they'll be hosting a match between USA's team and Germany's Friday night, October 12th. Tickets will be sold at the door. This has been Emma Hallen with Mocs News.
The football Mocs try to return their winning ways.
Plus, we have some great news in golf and soccer. Bailey Biddle has all the details.
Thanks, guys. We start with the football team, who looked to rebound from a tough loss at ETSU with a win against Wofford last weekend. Our Joseph Dykes has the story.
If styles make a fight, then you would have thought that last Saturday's game was a heavyweight prize fight. The Wofford Terriers and their unstoppable option attack and stingy run defense marched into Finley Stadium to match up with the Mocs' more balanced attack and ball-hawking defense. It wasn't much of a match though, as the Terriers dominated UTC's iffy run defense, while avoiding the interception-happy secondary of the Mocs. Quarterback Joe Newman tore up UTC in the second half and broke the Mocs defense late in the game with a devastating long run to cap an 155-yard day. Meanwhile, all-conference fullback Andre Stoddard has seemingly ho-hum a 100-yard outing as part of a 442-yard day for the Wofford Terriers on the ground. Bryce Nunley in the passing game never really found his footing against Wofford's defense though. Nick Tiano routinely missed deeper throws on crucial downs, and Tyrell Price in the ground game were nowhere to be found. The Mocs finished with a paltry 21 yards on the ground and only 197 total yards. The Terriers ended up winning the game by a final score of 21-10, and that score did not show just how lopsided the contest really was. The Mocs have a shot at redemption though against Western Carolina this Saturday. With Mocs News, this has been Joseph Dykes. Back to the studio we go.
It was top 10s for Maddie McDaniel and Monica San Juan as they led the Mocs golf team to a 6th place finish at the Princess Anne Invitational. It was a special scoring weekend for the duo as the team shot a season best 873. McDaniel's 208 was the best of her career and bested her previous low by 12 shots. The Mocs 873 total is the best for the program since the 2015 Pinehurst Challenge. San Juan shot her previous low of 213, leading the group. Our volleyball team has had an eventful week so far. Last Saturday, they swept Mercer, earning their 3rd SoCon win on Wednesday night. They managed to pull off another win against Sanford. Freshman setter Jacqueline Langham received this week's Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Continues to support the team as they take on Western Carolina on Saturday. The Chattanooga Mocs women's soccer team was victorious in a 1-0 soccer game against ETSU. The lone goal was scored by freshman Emily Szymanski, which was her first career goal. She was the 9th player on the team to score a goal on the season. The women's soccer team is now 8-5-2 on the year and 4-1-1 in the Southern Conference. The women's soccer team look to face the Sanford Bulldogs this Friday night at Finley Stadium on October 12th at 7 p.m. And that's it for this week in sports. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Bailey. Hispanic Heritage Month runs September 15th to October 15th, and in honor of the month, Google has made a popular doodle, a well-known Hispanic hero. Roberto Clemente, a Puerto Rican-born baseball player, has broken many records in his career, but his legacy went beyond the baseball field with his humanitarian work. Clemente died in a plane crash while doing an earthquake relief to Nicaragua. Clemente inspired many Hispanic children to reach for the stars and chase their dreams. If you want to know more about Clemente, head over to our website at mocsnews.com.
Police are trying to nail a case of stolen artwork. In Healdsburg, California, a giant hammer sculpture was stolen over the weekend. The 800-pound ball peen hammer vanished from Healdsburg Community Center. The piece is valued at $15,000 and has been on loan to the community center for about a year. The sculpture is made of metal with a redwood handle and measures at 21 feet long, with the head of the hammer being 6 feet tall. The artist Doug Uncre says it would have required about 8 people to move it and a flatbed trailer.
In Honolulu, Hawaii, a hospital that cares for monks, SEALs, made a Brazilian phone call this week via butt dial, or rather foot dial. The hospital's director was at lunch when she received multiple calls from the main location. Fearing that it was an emergency, she quickly headed to the hospital to find that nothing was wrong. She wasn't the only one. Many residents kept calling and asking why hospitals was calling them. The director called the phone company and found out that the calls were coming from a lab within the hospital. When she entered the lab, she found the guilty part, a gecko, perched on the phone. The gecko's tiny feet had been hitting numbers and making the calls. Social media took the delight in the story and made jokes about saving money and switching to Geico.
It's not often you hear about a sea monster in real life. In Philadelphia, a great sea monster has taken over an old Navy Yard warehouse, but only temporarily. The inflatable monster is a sculpture that is titled Sea Monsters Here. The creature is 40 feet long and sways in the breeze, which creates a sense of a real-life sea monster. The purple tentacled monster was created by UK artist Filthy Lurker and Pedro Estrellas and will be on display until November 16th.
Aretha Franklin may be gone, but she definitely is not forgotten. The Aretha Franklin tribute featuring Deshaun Calloway will be held October 13th at the Grand Falloon at 400 East Main Street. The cost is $10 and opens at 7:30 with concerts starting at 8 p.m. To get more information, head over to the Grand Falloon Facebook page.
Speaking of events, if you've been to our website, then you may have seen our feature, Chattanooga, where we tell you what is going on around Chattanooga.
And if you haven't, what's wrong with you? Just kidding. Here's our Bailey Murphy with this week's Chattanooga.
Bum bum.
I'm Bailey Murphy, and welcome to today's edition of Chattanooga. With it finally starting to feel like fall, let's see what spooky things you can get into this weekend in Chattanooga. For all you thrill seekers out there, you have to check out Dread Hollow. It's open Thursdays through Sundays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. until Halloween. Dread Hollow is located at Ruby Falls and was voted #1 must-see haunt in Tennessee in 2017 on thescarefactor.com. Another scary attraction for you to check out is the Acres of Darkness Haunted Woods and Family Adventures. Their haunted trail is located at 900 North Sanctuary Road in Chattanooga, and they say their forest will give you the fright of your life. And for those of you where haunted houses aren't really your thing, this weekend at the Chattanooga Market is the 17th annual Chattanooga Oktoberfest. Join people from all over to enjoy the sights, smells, and sounds of German traditions. Oktoberfest is this Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Well, that does it for this week's edition of Chattanooga. Join us next week to see everything going on in the Scenic City.
Well, that does it for this week's edition of Mocs News. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to check out our website, mocsnews.com, to continue following the news throughout the week.
And while you're there, once again, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great weekend for all of us here at Mocs News, and enjoy your fall break.